Is NewJeans going to leave Hybe? But did Lisa deserve a K-pop award? I've Liz's math mistake and so much more in today's episode of Totally Legit K-pop News with me, Angelina. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. And when I say all of that today and more, I literally mean more, because Wednesday's video was supposed to be a regular news video, and then it turned into a deep dive on what was happening with NewJeans' emergency live stream, where they basically say, hi, but if you don't reinstate me and Hee Jin by the 25th, we're going to do something. We don't know what yet. We can only infer, which we're literally going to talk about today because there's another update. Are you guys sick of it yet? But also, we do have to recapitulate everything that I missed on Wednesday as well. So buckle up, everyone, and let's get into today's Friday news video. Just you and me together. Let's go. So of course we need to talk about some of the updates that have happened since our Wednesday video where we talked about NewJeans doing an emergency live stream. I already said it in the intro, but you know, my interpretation is that they basically threatened Hybe. So if you don't reinstate Min Hee Jin as CEO by the 25th, you know, they didn't exactly say what they were going to do, but there has been a lot of speculation, because why would you give a timeline? Why would you say by the 25th, you know, do this if you didn't have a plan in place? So let's start off with the significance of the 25th. So on Wednesday, the 25th would have been 14 days from that date. So a lot of people are saying that, you know, actually I saw this on Reddit. So this is from Kpop Rant. Take it with a grain of salt, but some people have cited that 50/50 were told that they have to give the company 14 days notice that they would be filing their injunction to terminate their contract. 14 days from now is the 25th, so presumably they'll file to terminate their contract. So again, take that with a grain of salt. We don't know that this is true. Though we can infer, if they said, you know, the 25th, something's gonna happen on the 25th if their demands aren't met, right? However, if they do try to get out of their contracts, a lot of people are speculating that the price that they'll have to pay, the fees that they would have to pay, would cost them an arm and a leg. So some people are saying between 225 million USD up to 449 million USD. Now, of course, we do not know these idols' contracts. We were not in the room when they signed them. However, according to Korea's Fair Trade Commission, there's a standard early termination fee. So if you wanted to terminate your contract early, there's a standard fee to that. And apparently this fee is calculated by taking the idol's average monthly revenue over the past 2 years, then multiplying that by the number of months remaining in the contract at the time of early termination. So that's where that estimate of, you know, $200 million comes from. But aside from speculation, we have some, you know, concrete things that have happened, including Min Hee Jin filing an injunction for an extraordinary general meeting of shareholders because she wants to be reappointed as internal director. Of course, she was previously dismissed from her position as Adore's CEO. They want to make her internal director again, so then they could reappoint her as CEO after that. Her lawyers put out a statement and they're basically saying, you know, she was guaranteed a 5-year run as CEO of Adore. But of course, she was dismissed regardless of the shareholders' agreement. She also only has 2 months left on her contract as internal director. So I know some people were confused in the comments, basically asking like, well, like, can't she still work with them? Like, of course, she's not CEO anymore, but she can still like produce for them. Well, yes, she can, but for 2 months. And we can understand why she's not too confident that after those 2 months are up, Hybe wouldn't, you know, rehire her. Well, Adore wouldn't rehire her. You get the gist. Like, once her 2 months are up, do you really think they're gonna be like, hey, let's offer you another contract so you can remain as the internal director of Adore? That's where this comes into play, from my understanding anyways. So this is the reason why they're filing this injunction, so they can reappoint her as internal director. We hope that Hybe will cease the continuous contract violations, business interference, defamation, and insults, and make reasonable management decisions for the future of Adore and NewJeans. So again, they're maintaining that according to the shareholders agreement, she shouldn't have been dismissed from her position, that Hybe is going against what the court ruled. You know, they're saying the Seoul Central District Court decided to prohibit voting rights to dismiss her from the position. We're going to see Hybe's response to this. But first, let's see what some K-netizens think of this. Fighting, I support you. Min Hee Jin fighting, I support NewJeans and Min Hee Jin. I hope that corrupt company Hybe crashes and burns. Telling them to pay up and leave? How about you hand over your put options, you thugs? I really hope it all collapses and everything goes back to how it was. I think Hybe has really crossed the line trying to bring someone down like this. It's only because it's Min Hee Jin that she's holding on. If it were anyone else, they wouldn't be able to endure it. Min Hee Jin finds strength. If Min Shi loses, it basically means that all other company idols will become Park Ji-hyuk's slaves. I don't like Min Hee Jin, but I'm supporting her in this fight. Now that things have come this far, can they really continue working together? Wouldn't it be best if NewJeans sued Hybe to leave and Min Hee Jin started her own company to take them in? So I've seen a lot of this, people saying like, well, NewJeans should really just leave and go to another company with Min Hee Jin. Personally, just from, being in the K-pop world for a long time, I'm not sure that that's legal or possible. These companies have in their contracts sometimes that you can't join another company as soon as you leave. Like, you might have to wait a year or 2 years before you even join another company. That's why you see some idols leave their companies and then they're waiting around for a little while. I think it's called a non-compete clause or something like that. Again, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, but all that to say, I don't think it's as simple as just taking a group and going to another company and continuing that group. Like, there's a reason why certain groups can't even use their names anymore. Like, they're not even under their old company, but they can't even use their old names anymore. If we think of Beast, who are now Highlight, if we think of BAP, who are no longer BAP, why would a company put so much money and effort into a group if it was just so easy for them to go to another company and continue on like nothing happened? So that's my point of view. I don't think it's gonna be just easy like that. It would be easy like that if Hybe agreed for it to be easy like that, but why would, but if profit is, anyways. However, in terms of some K-netizens' responses to this, again, these are some people. We cannot generalize everybody's thoughts about this. Just like if you go on Twitter and you see a bunch of hate comments about Min Hee Jin, it doesn't mean that nobody internationally is supporting Min Hee Jin. That is totally false. However, just, on a general basis, there's a lot of international fans actually angry at the response that some K-netizens have about Min Hee Jin, because they're like, why couldn't you have the same energy for 50-50? Like, 50-50 really got trashed for going against their CEO, but it's like night and day with the response to Adore, well, Min Hee Jin and NewJeans. So I noticed that for sure. But of course, Hybe has responded to this, and needless to say, they aren't really swayed by any of this. They basically say that the shareholders agreement has been terminated, so its legal effects are voided, and actually they're in a lawsuit right now trying to prove that it's been terminated, and they're just waiting on the court right now. The decision to dismiss Min Hee Jin as CEO was made independently by Adore's board of directors as part of a business management decision. It is unrelated to Hybe or the shareholder agreement. So they're basically, wiping their hands clean of this, like, we have nothing to do with this actually. We regret that Min Hee Jin, who has long emphasized the importance of Adore's independent management as a separate entity, is not respecting Adore's board of directors decision. Again, this isn't Hybe's decision. Adore decided to do this. So that, of course, is Hybe's response, but not everyone is too happy with it. Wow, they really think we're stupid. They're gangsters. I hope Hybe gets wrecked. I am now boycotting all Hybe idols. Seriously pathetic. An independent decision? It's connected to Hybe's profit, so how can it not involve Hybe? These guys are seriously so stupid, lol. Hybe, you're pathetic, lol. I love how lol is... So that's where we are in terms of official company statements from both Min Hee Jin and Hybe. However, no one has mentioned, well, technically, there have been no official statements about NewJeans live stream. Now take this with a grain of salt, because I don't even think Soompi covered this, and I feel like if Soompi doesn't cover like official statements, then I tend to take it with a grain of salt. But anyway, it does seem that the CEO of Hybe, Lee Jae-sang, did seemingly respond to the live stream, saying, "It may take some time, but we will respond as per our guidelines. Hybe is a company that abides by our guidelines, and we will not be making any exceptions." So there's that. However, when it comes to NewJeans' emergency live stream, of course, Hanni recounted a story of a manager telling another Hybe group to straight out ignore her, like right in front of her face. Now, Hanni herself did not mention which group this was, but naturally this sparked a lot of curiosity among people. And so people have been speculating, and a lot of people were pointing to Illit. Now, of course, Hee Jin came out and said that BLACKPINK and Hybe literally plagiarized NewJeans by creating Illit, but you know, she was clear in saying it's not the girls' fault, like they have nothing to do with this, it's really Hybe and BLACKPINK. But we all remember the fan wars that happened because of this. Like, we all understand how the internet works. It was not pretty. It seems some people had been commenting under Illit's most recent video, basically using the same word that Hanni used to describe being ignored. So we see this picture and it says 무시해 under their video. People asking like, oh, was it your manager? Ignore. Are you guys not breaking up? Hey, was it your manager? Do you guys know which manager told you guys to ignore Hanni? Who told you guys to ignore Hanni? I'm sure it's either Illit's manager or LE SSERAFIM's manager. So of course we do just need to point out right now that Hanni said that the group greeted her properly. Like, they greeted each other properly. It's just when she was in the hallway and they were then leaving the hair and makeup area, that's when the manager told them to ignore her. So it's not that they like, you know, just to defend everyone in this situation, Hanni never specifically mentioned any names, and in fact she mentioned that they greeted each other properly. It's the manager here, right? That's the issue. So previously people were just speculating that it was Illit, but now it seems that it has since been confirmed that it was Illit by Hankyung News. So this is what they said. What was the final nail in the coffin to break the trust between NewJeans and Hybe was the greetings controversy that happened between them and Hybe group Illit's manager. It happened around 3 months prior, around June. Back then, it was right after Hee Jin won the legal battle against Hybe. NewJeans Hanni explained in a live stream on September 11th that a manager of a Hybe artist girl group told the members to ignore her. It seems like she's referring to Illit's manager. So Hankyung News are claiming that Hybe reviewed 7 to 8 minutes of CCTV footage, and the results showed Hanni and Illit greeting each other, but they were unable to identify specifically what she was claiming in the video. So that's where the lack of evidence comes from, but it does seem that their parents went to Hybe to talk about bullying within the company, but the matter just could not be resolved, especially due to, according to Hybe, lack of evidence. But this has garnered even more backlash towards Hybe for bringing Illit into this. Now, Illit had already been brought into this. Illit had long before been brought into this whole mess, but to be brought into this mess officially again, because keep in mind, Hanni didn't mention anyone. To be honest, I don't think it's important which group's manager did that. But is Hybe crazy? Why are they implicating Illit and involving them in controversy again? They're just using them as a shield. Does Hybe even respect their artists? Seeing how they implicate NewJeans, Illit, and LE SSERAFIM, it doesn't seem like they do. Wouldn't LE SSERAFIM and Illit's fans lose faith in Hybe? I feel so bad for the idols. Is it okay that Hybe does this? Of course, again, here are some fan responses. I think they're crazy. I can't believe that they'd expose the group when Hanni herself didn't say which group it was. Also, how would a CCTV capture a manager's words? Seriously, they are the best at using their artists as a meat shield. How can you still defend Hybe when the label is the one bringing criticism towards Illit? They exposed them. LOL. Hybe, are you guys protecting your artists, right? To be honest, Hybe hasn't done anything to help Illit and has only brought on criticism towards them. Why would you think Hybe will protect their artists when they're the ones who keep bringing up controversies and making them bigger? Hybe is effing gross, seriously. So in terms of NewJeans being ostracized or being ignored, fans have brought up once again posts on Blind. So this is a website where you can, like, you have to be a verified employee of a company and you can kind of talk about the company. So these posts were actually brought up back in May, and here it is. To release on Blind, you must be an employee of that company. There's a whole certification process. So after what Hanni said, these were being brought up again. And basically an employee said, Hybe employees can't even comfortably eat kalguksu for lunch because they're worried about upsetting a door. Okay, the whole kalguksu issue, without making like a 10-minute video about it, we've talked about it so many times on this channel, but essentially Minji from NewJeans had a whole kalguksu scandal. Basically, there was an instance where it seemed like she didn't know what it was. And like, let's compare kalguksu to chicken noodle soup. To not know what that is a little odd. So people thought she was trying to paint herself as this out of touch, like I grew up overseas rich person. And she had been experiencing a lot of hate for this issue for a long time. And then she later clarifies, like, it's not that I didn't know what it was. Of course I know what kalguksu is. I just didn't know if I liked it because I've never tried it because I'm really picky. Let me know if I got any details wrong. I wasn't prepared to answer this question. I'm just trying to go off of memory alone. But like, it haunted her for a really long time. She basically addressed it in a live stream, but the way she addressed it, she had to apologize for it. And anyways, that's the whole kalguksu story. So the employee says, let's have a kalguksu party for lunch. Like, people think that's super shady towards NewJeans, especially coming from employees. You can just tell the level of people working for that company. Look at that company's level. I didn't really know the sentiment of male dominant community sites, but I think I get it now. You'd think that, I don't know what that means. Is that a supportive? What? You'd think that they had a fight with a kid who looked at a NewJeans member during their school years or something. Do adults really want to behave this way towards kids? They're becoming effing low with age. What are they going to do about Hybe's image? Side, do they really want to torment young kids? What are these low class? You can tell the level of the company. Okay, then don't eat it for the rest of your life. You're telling me that a grown-up adult is acting this way? The kalguksu thing is bothering me because I feel like I'm getting some details wrong. Okay, on a show, they were talking about kalguksu and Minji asked herself, what is kalguksu? But of course she knew what it was, but she was more so asking herself, as a picky eater, what is the taste and texture of it? Because she's never eaten it on account of being a picky eater. I'm glad we clarified that. So those were from May, right? Like those posts on the blind site. But there are new posts that have since been posted that have angered people as well. So this is from an alleged Adore employee. It's embarrassing that the live stream aired. Wow, it's fake Adore. You're responding because you're scared, lol. For the sake of the girls, that live stream shouldn't have aired. Anyways, it's too late now. So it seems people are saying that Adore employees have never used blind before and they were not on that site before Hee Jin left the company. The company was extremely pro-feminist, but seeing the comment and in the matter it was written shows that fake Adore will not protect NewJeans. Oh my god. I thought this would be just like a small segment in the video. So of course, despite everything that is currently going on right now, there are so many people showing their support for NewJeans. In a previous video, we talked about SES's Pada talking about Hanni's self-written song, basically being like, why are adults acting like this? But we also had a former creative director at YG Entertainment who apparently worked with BLACKPINK and other artists also voiced their support. Then in an Instagram story they wrote, stand for NewJeans official at Hee Jin. So people were really impressed with this. There was even like a former famous judge who spoke out about this. Basically, he posted this: NewJeans is now creating their own story. And then someone basically said like, oh, you should be their lawyer, like you should give them legal advice. He basically says NewJeans is doing well right now. So then Tawan of WJSN posted this to her Instagram story. So we see NewJeans songs and it says forever. With one response saying, people who are speaking out are seriously cool. Everyone working in the industry, celebrities and athletes, everyone. Because again, this is like a huge point of contention, right? On one hand, people think like they're speaking up for themselves, they are paving the way, they are really like setting a standard for future K-pop artists. But then on the other hand, of course, people think that like they're literally just ruining their careers with this. So then I've been seeing a lot of people quote tweeting these specific Korean tweets, and I'm like, what's going on? Because like the quote tweets are in English and the tweets are in Korean, but it seems that there are prominent carrots talking about this as well. So here's one of the tweets. I'm here to say something a little heavy. This year I have been extremely disappointed in Precence and Hybe. In particular, I think what they are doing to NewJeans is extremely wrong. I'm now concerned that the attacks on other artists may one day target our members. I ask that Hybe return NewJeans surroundings to their normal state so that NewJeans can comfortably promote like they did in the beginning. Also, I ask that Hybe stop committing acts that are so disappointing. I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable and I'm writing this because I feel my voice might be a little louder than others. I hope you understand. And then I've been seeing this tweet go around as well. Is it okay for a label to push their artists towards criticism so that the label's executives can hide behind them? What they're doing to NewJeans is so disappointing, and I wonder every day if this is how you're treating your artists. I also feel that 17 members may face a similar fate. One of the responses reading, as a G-Friend fan, the only thing I can say is different from other fans is that I've seen this before. We couldn't protect our group because we weren't strong enough, but I hope no one else goes through something like that, honestly. Of course, there are people who do not support NewJeans. There are so many people who think this is a terrible thing to have done, a horrible business decision, a horrible thing to have done for their careers. There are people who still love NewJeans but don't agree with what they did. Let's actually read some comments from my last video, which is at 92,000 views. I can't see a way this doesn't backfire on them, to be honest. This could get ugly real fast legally. Hope they get proper lawyers, bruh. 2024 might be the craziest year of K-pop. So much stuff has happened with different groups and artists. We need a year-end wrap-up video. This will go down in history. The situation isn't as black and white as some people make it out to be, but damn, it just seems like these girls are getting screwed over no matter what team they would side with. The Hee Jin glaze is giving something a cult would do, not gonna lie. I understand why they'd feel the need to do this, but it's really a bad idea. They're still a newer group. They don't have the history or stay power needed to properly negotiate like this. Hybe owns NewJeans, their name, their music, their concepts. There is no NewJeans without Hybe. This live was a breach of contract and it will likely cost them their careers. I wouldn't be surprised if NewJeans deleted the YouTube channel themselves because they realized WTF they've done. I have very mixed feelings. The girls have every right to say what they feel, but at the same time, I feel like there is someone pulling the strings. So with all that said, of course, I'd love to know your thoughts about this, of all of the updates. If you've had a change of thought, if you feel the same, let me know in the comments. My throat is literally so dry. I feel like I'm sounding so weird. So did any of you watch the VMAs? Well, either way, I'm going to tell you who won what. So 17 won Best Group, LE SSERAFIM won Push Performance of the Year, and Lisa won Best K-pop. But should she have actually won? People have questions about that. And I'm not going to lie. I literally saw a tweet like saying, but Lisa is Thai and the song is in English. I didn't get it. I'm like, okay, like, thanks for saying, what do you mean by that? I swear, I kept seeing so many people talk about this and it never clicked. It never clicked until someone like explained it word for word why people were questioning this. Well, I guess that is kind of explaining it. I just didn't get it. So people are questioning whether or not Lisa should have won Best K-pop when, for one, she is Thai, which, you know, that's not illegal. But her two recent songs are entirely in English. Are they? I think this is literally the tweet that I saw. It's full in English and Lisa is Thai, so she won Best K-pop. People are just like, is it even K-pop anymore? I don't know. Something about them giving Lisa a K-pop award when she very obviously put out a pop song. There's more Japanese in it than Korean. Like, what? That's true. She's clearly trying to establish herself as more than just a K-pop idol. I don't know. Oh, Miss Tyra. Okay. No hate to Lisa, but she made her official solo debut under her own label. She created her label to be global. She's not even making K-pop music anymore. How the hell did she win? So the reasoning being she is a Thai artist making English music. So why did she win Best K-pop? Because again, it didn't occur to me at first. I really thought people were like, she shouldn't have won, just because, you know, people always think someone shouldn't have won something. I don't know. I think they just use K-pop category for any act that promotes in the K-pop industry. Like, so that was like major criticism number one for Lisa at the VMAs specifically. Criticism number two was the fact that people were criticizing her for lip syncing. It seems that a lot of people were not happy with her performance. Now, lip syncing in K-pop, you'd be actually more impressed to find someone singing live. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is so common, but this is the VMAs, right? So there were a lot more locals chiming in. I came across this tweet. Locals more brutal than the last time. So here are some of the tweets that were going around. Is anyone teaching these kids how to actually lip sync? This Lisa chick looked a solid second off behind the live track. LOL, hashtag VMAs. Lisa girl, I love you, but the lip sync during all the performance was really necessary. So of course, accusation after accusation accusing her of lip syncing. However, fans definitely did come to her defense. On one hand, I saw some people saying like, it's 2024. And then other people actually pulling out fan cams, seemingly showing a different story. Lisa's vocals are so good that people think she's lip syncing. You can clearly hear her singing in this video. And then again, you can clearly hear her singing live from New Woman to Rockstar the whole time, but you will have those bitter fandoms telling you otherwise. Anyway, Lisa, you rocked tonight. Wait, this is actually much better than the audio from VMAs, because listen to her live vocals. There was another tweet I saw that was like, VMAs, you better count your days or whatever. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think of the whole situation? Do you think she was lip syncing? Do you think she was singing live? So not only that, but it seems that the New York Times and Billboard ranked her really low in their performance rankings. Let's take a look. Billboard VMA performance ranking. I want to see who's ranking where, because I have Lisa's rankings. Okay, here we go. All the 2024 VMA performances ranked from worst to best. Oh, okay, so in last place, they put Lisa. This is Billboard, okay? The BLACKPINK member has proven herself adept at killer choreography and eye-popping visuals in the past, but Lisa's solo turn at the 2024 VMAs felt like a swing and a miss. New Woman could have used a little oomph from Rosalia, and the rockstar choreography was solid, but never head-turning, much less show-stopping. Get your video away from me. Okay, let's go to the top 3. Number 1, Sabrina Carpenter. Number 2, Chapel Roan. Number 3, Carol G. Let's check out the New York Times now. Bitch, I have it in my song. Bitch, you better swerve. Rockin' on my oh. So this is what the New York Times had to say. They said she was the worst performer. After getting an introduction by Paris Hilton, who threw in her catchphrase, "That's hot," Lisa was absolutely not. This K-pop singer was more of a K-flop when she performed with an army of dancers who couldn't save her from the pure cheesiness that left us all wondering how she even got the invite. Oh my god. So, you know, this is honestly K-pop shocking to me. Like, do you ever, like, even, okay, K-pop aside, do you ever, like, read, like, a movie review, or, like, you watch someone's review of something and they're mean about it and you're like, oh my god, like, how is that legal? Because, like, you're so used to, like, K-pop. Like, of course, people on Twitter, like, it's unhinged, absolutely. But, like, you also see that if someone, I've gone through it personally, don't you worry. I just feel like in the K-pop space, you get a lot of backlash for saying way less worse stuff than this. You know what I mean? So this is K-pop shocking to me. I actually made a short about this, so let's see what some of you guys thought. Oh, she's gonna be playing in the background. Stop. Pause. Petition for me to get a new laptop. What is it? If listened well, you can hear her voice in the backtrack as well. People who were at the VMAs said she was singing live, and of course she had a backtrack like many other artists. Yeah, she did lip sync, but only a few parts, so there's no need to hate. Let's read what some netizens think. It's an award show after all, should have at least performed live, haha. Lisa can barely sing, and it's true. I don't understand what she thought when she decided to enter the US market with a solo. She can only do K-pop. Look at all the Lisa haters going crazy because she won an award and her performance blew up. You're so transparent with how you're losing your mind trying to copy paste these posts around. What will you do? She'll just keep on succeeding in the future. And here's a picture of her with her moon person. But overseas, especially on IG and Twitter, once someone blows up, all they do is hate on them every day. The representative hate topics: 1, lip sync; 2, buying bots for the results; 3, industry plant. Meanwhile, people on site said she was good. So of course, again, with all that said, let me know what you thought of Lisa's performance. But actually, let's go into Tzu유's backlash right now, because it's kind of related. But this subject's a little old now, but we'll talk a little bit about it. So recently, Twice's Tzuyu made her solo debut with Runaway. But she's been heavily criticized for her lack of stage presence. Now, this is on Inkigayo, and we're literally going to get sued if I showed you. But we could do MBC. So when it comes to K-pop performances, like, people can lip sync, and I feel like it's really rare, very rare, you're gonna see people get backlash for lip syncing in a K-pop stage, right? Because it's kind of just become the standard. I mean, the last time I remember in a K-pop stage someone getting the backlash for lip syncing was IVE's Wonyoung and Iso when they were sitting down and lip syncing. But I've honestly seen people sit down and lip sync since then. So, but anyways, I came to learn about this issue because I kept seeing TikToks pop up saying she's very Haewon coded. From IZ*ONE? IZ*ONE feels like it was 10 years ago. I'm like, I don't remember what she performed like. And then I went and looked, and she really does like have her eyes quite open in the performances. Like, I thought people were really exaggerating and everything. But anyways, okay. I also saw this going around. So I've seen a lot of backlash towards that as well. And I'm always, always, always going to be a live singer defender. I am a sucker for a live stage. It doesn't have to be good as long as it's live. Like, I want to be able to judge something. And if it's lip syncing, then you can't really... Like, you can't judge the vocals, that's for sure. But I appreciate this. I appreciate, because usually even for like radio show performances, there's so much auto-tune, there's a backup track, but this is like quite raw. So I appreciate that. I literally appreciate it. I don't care. Fight me. I appreciate it. And on that note, I saw this from ITZY. Which, to be fair, I haven't seen receive any backlash, but it does bring up the question of, like, if you're gonna lip sync, you're gonna get backlash. Not always, but... And if you're gonna sing live, you're gonna get backlash too. Like, you're kind of damned if you damned if you're... Actually, I take it back, because lip syncing is the safer option. Because, first of all, it's more or less expected. Second of all, most fans can't tell the difference. Like, if they hear you lip syncing, they believe that's how you sound. So lip syncing definitely is the safer option, but it breaks my heart that when people dare to sing live, nobody even appreciates the effort because they're so used to lip syncing and they think that lip syncing is real. We've set unrealistic standards here, and that's what makes me mad. But we can discuss that in the comments. Anyways, but I talk about that all the time. If more idols like actually sang live with less auto-tune, less backup tracks, K-pop would die as an art. Like, fans would not know what to do with themselves because you will see some mistakes. But if you're lip syncing, there are no mistakes. I mean, you could have like choreography mistakes or whatever, but you get it. Or you could have like your voice continues on and you forget to do your line. Where are we going with this? Anyways, let's move on. IVE's Liz apparently can't do math, but literally who can? I'm kidding, obviously. But it does seem Girly is getting backlash for making a mathematical error on a fan messaging app with this post titled, "Idols are more ignorant than you think." So here's what she wrote on the fan messaging app. Basically, Liz, 3 seconds of your... Oh my god. 3 seconds of your day is spent sleeping like Snorlax. Apparently it's 2/3. I made a mistake. Huh? Was I wrong? I'm just confused, so let's just let it slide. Still, I know factorization. So the mistake is, you know, she put 3/2 instead of 2/3. I was gonna say, like, give me a break, I learned math in French, but like don't ask me in French either, I don't remember. So she made a mathematical error. Let's read some responses. Still, she's good at her main job as a singer. Everyone has different strengths depending on their profession, so why mock her and call her ignorant? But isn't it normal to get confused by this and make a mistake? I literally did as well. I don't know how to like say it verbally. That's why there's no reason to put them on a pedestal. Even Isa, a member of the same team, constantly makes spelling mistakes. Oh my god, I thought it said women's drivers. I was side-eyeing that a bit. Even Hee Jin failed the basic written driver's license test, which is something you can pass without studying, and had to retake it multiple times. Not to make this about me, but I almost failed my written exam, and it's because in my book, rain was like lines. Okay, so there's a symbol of rain with lines, but then in the test there was circles for rain. So I almost got, that was like the one question that would have made me fail, but I explained it to them like, in the book it's literally lines and these are circles. So, and they were like, okay, and I passed. Anyways, I wish I didn't. I had to. If you live in a small town, you cannot get away with not knowing how to drive. But I resent it every single day. It would be interesting to gather all these empty heads and measure their average IQ. She's not spelling it out like 2/3, but is using fraction symbols, so I guess she could get confused. Is this really something to hate her for? So some of the responses to these responses. You take children from classrooms and put them in dance rooms when their brains aren't fully developed and you expect them to be the sharpest tool in the box? It's not that deep. Oh my god, and here I'll go. Stop giving them so much credit, etc. Girl, you got confused. What the fuck are you talking about? Isn't it 1/3 anyway? Unless she's not talking about humans. Throw away the whole message. So of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I just want to share my thoughts briefly. Just like the title, idols are way more ignorant than you think. I don't think of that in a mean way. Like, I kind of agree with this, but not in a mean way. Like, ignorance isn't always like the worst thing in the world. Sometimes, like, just objectively, ignorance is not knowing something, right? Like, obviously there are different levels to that. Being ignorant about one thing can be different from being ignorant about another thing, you know what I mean? We're all ignorant about something. We all don't know about every single subject on earth. We're all not super smart about everything. Some people maybe. My point being, you should hold idols to this very standard, that you don't know them, that they don't know the same things as you don't know the same things as them. Because the way I read this is, stop putting idols on a pedestal. Because you don't know them, you don't know what they don't know what you know. They could have the complete opposite political stances as you, stances on super important issues that you have. It's just they're not saying them out loud, so you'll never know. Does that make sense? Don't come for me. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. Former IZ*ONE member Hitomi joined a new girl group. But is she too old? Of course not. But let's talk about Say My Name. So this is Jaejung's new girl group. And someone asked, who's Jaejung? He was actually a former member of DBSK, a first-gen, a K-pop icon. So he has a company and he's forming a girl group, and Hitomi is a new member of this girl group. But fans are discussing her age. Now, when I first read this, because it was like, the age gap is kind of severe. Like, it's pretty big. So I'm like, oh my God, is she like 26 and there's like a 16-year-old in the group? Guess how old Hitomi is? 22. They had me thinking she was like damn near her 30s or something, which of course is not even old. Okay, it's K-pop old, but like, damn. So we come here and oh my God, I thought it said 11. No, she's 17. Okay. 17, 18, 18, 17, 17, 13, 22. So a 9-year age gap here. Wow, so Hitomi is barely 22. I thought she'd be in her mid-late 20s. Like, that's what's so weird about the IZ*ONE girlies, is like they debuted so young. So like in my mind, Wonyoung should be like 25. Like, not that they look older or anything, it's just like feels like they've lived such long lives before debuting in new groups, right? Here are some more responses. Say My Name, I will stand because of Hitomi, but I'm seriously side-eyeing because Seungju is like 14, 15. Well, I'm not sure how you feel about this one, and just with the age gap with whoever is the oldest will be, I guess. I wish them all the best, but the group may not be for me at all. She's not even 14 yet. Of course, concept is good, but still. I love Hee-chan for Say My Name. Maybe they should have gotten a group of people around her age instead of a literal 14-year-old. Say My Name has a 2010 liner, please end K-pop. What possesses you to put a 22-year-old in a group with a 13-year-old? Not even a 15, 16-year-old, straight up a new teenager. Seungju is talented, but she shouldn't have been the first grade one to debut. So let me know what you think of this age gap. Do you think this is a group you would be interested in? Let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to Kpop Shenanigans, which are basically fun little things that have happened in K-pop recently and or quick news. NewJeans Sangyeol's sister is going to debut soon. The Seraphim are going viral for this VMA moment where Yunjin is trying to include the group, but they're like, you take this one. It would be such an honor. It would be such an honor. BTS's RM has donated 100 million won to a veterans fund. A random man snuck into the Hybe building for 3 days. And I found this response to this. I thought you had to know a code, then scan your face, hands, feet, and ass to even open the door. 17's Jonghan announced his military enlistment. LE SSERAFIM's Eunchae is stepping down as MC for Music Bank, and Illit's Minju is going to take her place. ITZY have been teasing their comeback gold. A reporter has gone viral for asking Sojang if she feels sorry for Jang Won-young. Look. Answer. Oh my God. And NMIX did Tiny Desk Korea, which was really fun to watch. Very beautiful vocals. So, you know, we were just talking about live vocals earlier, how there's usually so much auto-tune and so much backtrack. Oh my God. If you want to hear NMIX like raw, this is it. But also, what's with the OO and Dice erasure? Just putting that out there. You guys are going to be so excited because I do have a K-pop song of the day, and it is Neti Neti by Peko featuring Jessie. I just kind of heard this song scrolling on TikTok and it spoke to me. It's just so much fun. I love it. I love specifically the pre-chorus, but let's continue. I keep saying call me my Degrassi, and I keep associating Jessie with Degrassi now. Okay, I love this part coming up. And then the chorus, of course. Oh, it just makes me want to dance. So that is our K-pop song of the day, Nutty Nutty by Peko featuring Jessie. So I reckon that's basically it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. These are the lovely individuals who have supported my channel on a monthly basis. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. If you don't see your name here, I am about to update it for the next video, so don't you worry. I had so much more I wanted to talk about today, but like, I don't know. We had a whole discussion segment, but I'm gonna save it for another video in case the next video there's like nothing to talk about. But again, thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys on Monday.